live! Welcome to another session of Armour Class Zero's fucked up adventures. Or not that fucked up, it's just going kinda great. I mean, at least no one died yet, right?
Oh. Just wait, Gemini's got a ring that I might want.
Yeah.
Yep. Vicious Mockery will only take you so far, good sir.
Yeah, I used up most of your spell slots. I didn't.
Oh well.
Boom. I think he can still take you.
So
Not with 25 movement speed, you can't.
we don't have any PvP,
I've
right?
got a ranged weapon.
Yes, an Ellie.
That's true.
Okay, I was gonna say either our DM is perfect at being still, or his screen just froze. But he's back.
It is good at being still.
I've been thinking about both. Anyway, announcement. First one, not a regular streaming session. We're doing an extra session because we realized that we're about to have some downtime.
Yeah.
Partly because of holiday, partly because people going to stupid music festivals, and partly for some people deciding to move in the middle of everything and not have internet for like 3 weeks. I mean, who does such a stupid thing?
Some people.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah, not all of us.
Yeah.
Maybe me. So yeah, for a few weeks we won't be streaming. I think it's about 5 weeks in total, maybe 6 even.
That
Well, we
long.
might be doing streams in between, but just not
we
a
won't
regular.
be streaming regularly, at least not the regular streams, but we will try to do some one-shots and some extra sessions, maybe someone playing some games. Just coming online, talking shit and talking about what we think about the adventure so far and what we hope will happen and everything, and something might be happening. Because it's probably not going to be a regular stream. So our main adventure will go on for today and tomorrow, and after tomorrow, it will be somewhere in May. Wait, hang on. This not might be right. You're gone for 2 weeks, right?
Who, me?
Yeah. No, coming up.
After tomorrow's session, I'll be gone, or I won't be available to play for 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, you're gone for 4 weeks, and
Yeah.
after those 4 weeks, I'm basically gone for 3 weeks. So it's 7 weeks in total where there won't be regular streaming.
Holy crap.
Yeah, holy crap. Or most likely, at least. Who knows? I might have internet. I just don't know yet. But we're working on the assumption that I won't.
Yeah.
So yeah, sad news, everybody.
For sure.
But we agreed, and we think that we should try to do something for you viewers and for ourselves because it's fun. So hopefully something else will happen on the channel. If not, see you in June. After tomorrow, of course, because tomorrow we're streaming regularly. So yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of asked everybody to meet up a little earlier because we just realized that we only have one session before there's a big downtime, and I kind of wanted to try to get through the current encounters and stuff that the party's going through. So we have at least we're not in the middle of hunting something before we drop down for a couple of weeks. And everybody was available, so we're in luck. Today and tomorrow, we're going to be streaming and finding out how the adventure continues. Well, you guys will be finding out. I already know, of course.
You think you know. You haven't accounted for player stupidity.
Yeah. Actually, that's all I do. I just go like, nah, it's too stupid to do that.
Yeah,
So we're going to burn down the forest, walk away, right?
Yeah.
First thing, start up.
Yeah, we're going to burn down the forest and then find a mountain to throw the ring into.
Yes.
Yeah,
Whole new journey.
Yeah.
sounds about right.
So I think about last time we left off, you guys had a fight with a gelatinous cube which was kind of part of a defense mechanism or sorts that was placed around a large area of the forest. And you guys would assume that this is the area where the hag is held up. There was it took you about, I think, 2 hours or 3 hours to walk all the way around it. So it's a decent sized area, but ropes were tied all across in between trees, and it was clear that if these ropes would be cut, something would probably happen and something would be going on, not knowing what. And apparently one of the things that happened is that this gelatinous cube dropped down and decided you guys were food. And it almost ate Ellie, but
I got
after a while,
Yay!
yeah, you got saved. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, very sparingly by Varen. He's just like one hit point there.
Yeah.
It was more to do with I thought we were going to go straight for the hag afterwards, so I was trying to not
Be
waste all my
efficient.
resources
Yeah.
at once. So
Not blaming you. Very
No.
efficient. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
And we could go for the hag, but all that kick-ass shit that Grimhook was doing, he's out.
he's
I
out.
don't remember
Comes at a
Grimhook doing much. I know Gemini killed the cube.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
Varen
I have-
ate it. Okay.
I have 2 spell slots left, and I could still kick your ass with them.
Okay,
Only level
okay.
1.
Guys, we're overlooking the most important thing. Ellie lost her hair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and was almost butt naked.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah, that's
moly.
true.
Because the
Fan
cube
art,
ate her
people.
clothes.
Holy
The
crap.
cube ate her clothes.
Yep.
Stupid cube and hair. Stupid cube.
I can just imagine that all the time the leaves of the trees were just in the right spot just to cover you up in the
Yeah,
right way.
yeah. Or something
Just
else
keep it
getting
below
digested by
18.
the cube at the same time, like always covering up. Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
I
Yeah.
thought it was the acidic smoke. You know, it was just
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
The bubbles
there's
from things
just-
dissolving.
There's just a cloud following her around now.
yeah. So I think it was Varen and Grimhook that decided to kind of check out where these ropes were, but they also decided to look into if there was anything that was dropped by this gelatinous cube. And by sheer good die roll, they found a ring, which was laying a bit away in the grass, and it was just pure sharpness of wit that you guys found it. And the ring is breathtaking. So you guys just all pretty much want to have it, except for one guy, because he probably already has 10 of them or something. He's just like, one ring? Jeez, I can buy 10 of those. And I think we kind of ended at everybody except Gemini wanting the ring. I wanted to be clear about wanting this ring. It's not like it's all consuming and that you're like, must kill everything to get this ring. It's just, you really like this ring, and it just, it's beautiful, and you would love to have it, and you will not betray your friends for it. You will not grab knives and cut people's throat out, but it's just a really cool thing to have.
What about cutting the throat of someone that you don't really like?
That's fair game. That's fine.
'Cause-
Because I think there's only one person at this point that has it in his pouch or pocket. Was it
Pocket.
pocket? In your pocket, in your right pocket, only just barely in there. You could just slip your hand in. No, just so yeah, the ring is there, and
Gemini has deep pockets, sir.
True. Yeah.
Let it never be said that he was a shallow-pocketed man.
It's just resting on the rest of your gold pieces or platinum pieces dingling around in your pockets.
Mhm.
It's in like a pile, like Scrooge McDuck's sort of mountain of other magical rings, and it's just sitting on top
I mean,
of him.
Yeah.
It's a big jacket, all right.
Latest accents, yeah. So that's pretty much where we left off.
Yeah.
Feel free to do whatever you want.
So
Right then. Yep, go ahead.
Ellie is like kind of coming out of the shock of being like molten alive, and getting over that the ring isn't within sight, and gonna be like, I'm gonna get it later, more or less. That's the last look she gives it in when it goes into the pocket, and she's gonna be like, oh right, and like get her backpack out and be like, oh good, it's not broken, and like try to find her spare set of clothes and start changing.
All right. That's easily doable.
Yeah.
You dive into a little bush and you just change.
Varen is going to find maybe a tree or a log to sit on, and he's going to go into like deep thought and look visibly troubled.
All right.
What does that look like? That's visibly troubled.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he touches his chin. I mean,
Like you're
that's kind of
plotting against the
expressive.
sky.
Yeah, it's like that fucking sky's up to something.
I actually need to ask this. Does anyone actually look at Ellie when she changes?
No, Grimhook will be still eyeing the pocket.
Okay.
Well, there's a couple of birds checking you out.
Oh, the birds will see something. The birds will see something that the players won't. You
There
know
we
what
go.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Firebolts in place. That's what.
I know what you're talking about. Wink, wink.
No, okay.
So yeah, Varen is plotting to kill the sky, and what do you do, Grimhook and Gemini?
I wonder what's wrong with Varen.
Looks like he doesn't like the sky.
Yes, yes. Quite.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Grimhook will just sort of stretch and glance round to the bush that Ellie had jumped into. Like, once she's ready, shall we go find somewhere to rest?
Yes, we should get out of this area before nightfall and then rest up a bit so you can get your energies back. Oh, Varen!
Yes, Gemini.
What's going on over there? You seem mad.
Nothing. What are we doing?
We're asking you questions.
Yes. Are we ready to go?
Oh, Allie, are you ready to go, dear?
Yeah, just a moment.
Okay.
And she will like pack everything else up and come out, and like you can tell like she has like flipped up the parts of her jacket extra high, and even though she has like a bald head now, you can like like she looks a little bit more covered up than usual even.
Fair enough.
And she managed to wear a pair of like thin gloves and everything as well, and yeah, I'm good. But otherwise,
Yeah,
most of the clothes looks the same. It's just like identical clothes per set.
As you guys see Ellie kind of walking out of the bush, she has you have trouble kind of, you look at her and you've already realized the fact that indeed her hair is gone, but as she now is talking to you, you are quite used to Ellie's face being quite expressive. It's kind of lost some of its expression, and you realize it's because her eyebrows and her eyelids or her eyelashes are also gone. You're like, yeah, that's it.
I see nothing wrong here.
Grimhook will go over to grab his trench coat off her as well.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Like,
Well then.
He'll put it on and do just like a quick sort of, yep, still there, cool. Like nothing's fallen out.
No.
Right, shall we?
Yes.
Where do you go?
Out of the forest. Well,
Out
out
of
of
the
the
forest.
cookie zone.
All right. Very well. You guys start heading back the way you came, or do you go a different route?
Well, Grimhook at least will try and work out roughly where we are. Like, are we smack bag in the middle, or
Well, you would think so. This is pretty much, you were trying to get to the middle, and you definitely notice that you are in the even darker part of the forest now. So you would think that you're close to the middle, but you have no real tangible proof of how far this forest might continue on after to this, or if you go left or right, if that would be shorter.
back to where we came then?
Roll your survival.
That is that's a dirty 23.
There you go.
You wash your dice.
I should. It's because they're tainted from Vince dying.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You need to do a
Yeah.
cleaning ritual, like a cleansing.
I don't know. I've been getting really high rolls, so fuck it. No, they're good. They're
So
staying.
no, they're good. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of think about heading back, and you will have to hurry to get out of the forest before dark, or at least this part of the forest.
Okay, yeah. Grimhook will sort of gather up actually the rope that we took off and sort of just quickly wind that up. And he'll turn around and say, yeah, we need to be quick to get out of here before dark. I suggest we don't tether ourselves together and move a bit faster, but keep together and keep each other in sight.
Are you sure? The tethering helped so much before.
He turns around and throws the rope at Gemini. Is like, you can tie yourself to a fucking tree for all I care. Come on.
As you kind of
Gemini keeps the rope. Free rope.
you throw the rope towards him, it's almost like as you see him catch it, there's almost like there's a twinkle coming from his pocket, and you're like, that fucking bastard has my ring.
That's why he's hoping he'll tie himself to a tree, come back, and once he's dead, it's easy to take his stuff out of his pocket.
Of course.
Maybe they're trapped.
Ah, I have 2 ropes.
Sweet.
Or was it not? Was it not a combination of all our ropes tied together?
Maybe just
No,
two
it's just
ropes.
50 feet.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, okay.
So you guys start heading backwards. Who do you again take the lead, Grimhook, or do you?
Unless anyone overtakes him, yeah, head that way.
I would recommend that Grimhook takes lead, since, not to say the least, but you are the slowest.
All right.
Fine.
Roll your survival again to see how well you find your way back.
Oh, shit.
No. Don't say shit.
That's an 11. That's 11. That's
11. Okay, there we go. You you start to walk back, and you clearly see your tracks leading backwards. And after a while, you start to notice that your tracks become less clear. And you're kind of like, damn. You start to not be 100% sure about which direction you need to go. And you can almost feel this feeling like you're going, do I need to ask for help, or should I just wing it?
Are you okay there, Grimhook?
Oh no, he's not daft. He's stubborn, but he's not daft. He'll sort of just whistle back and be like, "Can one of you come forward? I need to check that we're going the right direction."
I can help.
Roll your survival.
That is a 21.
21.
Is that dirty or clean?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I only just got the dice, so.
Yeah.
You
Probably dirty, still got that China smell on them.
you look at it and you're like, really? It's that way. It's like it's so clear to you. It's like, oh man.
Are you okay, Grimhook? Your mind seems to be fogged. It's clear that we went this way.
It's like, tired.
Okay. Lead on, shall we?
You guys continue onwards, and as you're walking through this forest, time passes by, but you make good time. You have a firm tread about you. Everybody roll your perception.
Okay.
15 for Vern.
23.
10.
A naughty 22.
Oh, I rolled higher.
All right. Ellie and Gemini, you guys are kind of walking in a bit more in the back, and both of you start to hear things, and it's the placing of footsteps. And as you kind of look back, you have the idea that yellow eyes are kind of looking at you from between the trees and are kind of slowly trying to keep pace.
Does it sound like feet, like shoes, like
No,
claws, like paws?
Paws,
Soft, like
definitely.
paw?
Yeah. With both of your perceptions, it sounds like dog-like creatures.
Don't look, but it appears we have some followers behind us of the canine persuasion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The wolves again.
Yes.
Should we,
Grimhook will sort of call back. Have you fought these ones before?
or something
momentarily.
like it?
Yeah.
Definitely real, not an illusion.
Oh, yes.
They definitely felt real.
I'm not sure. and I will like look down on the ground and be like, and like kind of look away because he was not finding the wolves when the wolves was there,
That's right.
and she feels kind of bad about it.
Grimhook will glance around, see if he can see.
Roll your perception against with advantage.
With disadvantage?
Advantage.
Oh, with advantage, yeah. That's a cock die, so that's no good demand boost.
Oh, they're just new dice. I mean,
That's 19.
19. Yeah, you definitely see a couple of eyes, and as you kind of looking, you have the feeling like you're starting to see more and more of them.
So, plan?
If they're real, we're probably best fighting them on our terms rather than be caught on the run. Then again, they may be an illusion.
And what are our terms in this scenario?
Defensible location, just not moving.
How long do you think until we're out of here?
You would think
Grimhook will look to Varen, given the tea. Yeah,
you'd think about 2 hours. Both of you go like, man, 2 hours, and that's really like cutting it with sundown or getting it darker.
Yeah, if they wanted to attack us, they would catch us well before we got out of here.
Yes. They could also be maybe just watching us as we leave, but I wouldn't chance that.
We could be trying to surround us, potentially.
But if we keep moving until we find a better location, and if they were to attack, we'll basically keep an eye out if they come too close, and then we...
Are we near the clearing?
Yeah, pretty close.
What about the clearing before that we stopped in?
Yeah, we tried that once. That didn't work out so well.
Ellie will look
Yes.
visibly paler. Or maybe not that visibly, but she will be... She, like, pales at the thought.
It's an open area.
I suppose.
Yes, it was. And all the wolves came throughout that whole open area,
Yes.
surrounded us.
The wolves are quicker than us, which means they can cover open ground quicker.
Definitely quicker than you.
But then we will at least see them.
So yes, if they don't have trees in the way, I can get far better aim. And I would rather kill them before they got close.
Does everybody think they can survive a fight after that cube thing?
I think I can.
I've got a bit left in me.
I think Ellie can.
Yes. Okay. It's decided then.
Well, let's see if they're an illusion first. And Grimhook will fire a bolt at the nearest pair of eyes you can see.
Okay. Do you actually keep track of your bolts?
I have an amount here, I can.
You should.
I have 20. Yes, I have 20.
There you go.
I don't think I've fired any.
You have.
First time. That's it.
You
Have I?
fired one. Yeah. When you were chasing the cobalt, you fired one off.
No, I didn't because I never got
oh,
rage.
Wait, no.
Because Ellie got
Yeah, you're right.
caught. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I never. the aim was to fire one off, but I
Yeah.
never got into.
No, you never did
I
fire.
think beforehand you fired one.
Yeah, I was
No,
going
you
to
wouldn't
fire
have
one
fired
at the
before that.
crow.
But did you
No,
fire
well-
one and pick one up already?
No. Shit.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I'll take two off. It's fine.
keep track of them from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Never. Apparently, I have 200.
What?
Bundle size of 20, and I have 10 bundle. That cannot be
I
right.
don't
Let's
think so.
let's knock that down to I don't know,
I think
one
a
bundle
quiver-
of 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quiver can only hold like 20, so...
Exactly. Yeah. I have.
A backpack full of arrows.
I am just.
Grimhook.
A little known fact: dwarves are just entirely crossbow bolts.
Yes, that's all
Um,
his. Just pouches.
Oh,
and
that's your
pouches.
armor. Got it.
As
Yeah. Okay.
As,
so I now have 20. There we go. Yeah.
as
Well, sorry, wrong.
like-
I have 19. So I just fired one.
right.
Roll for your attack.
Directly after he fires it, hit or miss, I'm going to say, oh, actually, the last time, now that I'm recalling, they didn't attack us until after I attacked them first.
And you think this is a good time to say this now?
Oh, no better time.
That is 18.
18. You kind of, and even though they're kind of lurking behind trees, your arrow just hits one in the head. Roll for damage.
Yeah. That's.
Here we go.
Where's my?
No, shit, no.
There's. That is 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 points of damage. Okay, you hear a yelp, and then you hear
He will quickly reload. Just
and
roll initiative.
where you saw the longer you looked at it, the more they became. All of a sudden, you see like more eyes just start to appear. You're like, oh fuck. You see,
Yeah.
with a quick glance, you think there's probably close to 20 wolves right
Yes.
now behind you.
They definitely attacked after I did. Yes.
Something
And-
tells me this is not a good idea.
You hear they start to run.
Grimhook will shout run, and he will stay to the back. He'll let the others run, and he'll sort of grab Varen and be like, we'll stay to the back.
I nearly pass you when you grab my sleeve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Like, run!
So, I have an opinion. Or does Ellie still run at the same speed as us, or is she slower?
She's 25 as well, I think, no?
I think your movement speed is also 25, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Varen, if you can pick up Ellie, we don't need to outrun the wolves, just Grimhook.
Good point.
How close are the wolves?
Jesus.
Oh, sorry. I just killed the
broke-
DM.
Broke the
Oh,
DM there.
No, it was like it felt like there was a shock going through my ears. It was
Oh, it's not my voice.
You've got connecting current there. You see?
What the hell?
holy crap. Wait, let me just.
Hi,
I'll need to unplug
Yeah.
this for a moment.
Was that Kellen for?
Was
Yeah.
that my voice?
Oh, sorry. I'll mute this for a moment.
I mean, I know my voice can be kinda high and obnoxious at times, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no.
that bad. He caused a voltage spike in his headphones.
Yeah, that's it.
I have magic
Well,
powers,
There was kind of a sound spike, but I don't think it was too bad.
and I can
Maybe worse for the
No.
viewers.
I can use them for evil. I think. I have a hard time
Mm,
seeing using
that's-
this power for good, but evil definitely.
More fun, for sure.
You have the foom.
The
So
The foom.
speak about it.
Hmm?
At one point, I really want to make an evil character. Like even if she
Oh, yeah.
like pretends to be all nice and good, I want to make
Yep.
an evil character one time and really play covertly. And I don't know when or where, but I want to do it because it seems so much fun.
I was going to say I've a one shot planned, or well, more or less done, which is
It's kind of
sort of-
weird.
you don't need to be
I
an
can't hear
evil
you guys
character,
now.
but just not a good character. You're sort of like working for an assassin.
So it's-
Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to be the baddie.
No.
So there we go. That can be one that we can do on one of the weeks, sure.
Yeah,
on one
maybe.
of the Wednesdays. Well, 2 Wednesdays. We'll do it over 2, so that we don't have another fucking 6-hour stint.
Yeah.
But those are fun. Is there DM
They
back?
are, but they kill our people. They kill our players.
Aw.
Yeah.
They're yeah. Well, we also have a
Well.
night shift. And they're just not doing well with being up with the day walkers.
Maybe I need to get back into the call real quick.
Oh, well, he's going. He's going.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Right.
Yeah, no. It's because we're not on a Wednesday. That's why your computer's just like.
Yeah, it's not used to this. This is
I'm
too
not
random.
prepared.
Unprepared.
He was not prepared.
So this Saturday, guys.
Yeah, I'll just drop out of the call and come back in real quick.
Okay, bye. No, wait, not Saturday. Yesterday. Yesterday we had a TPK in my other group, or close to a
dear.
TPK.
Anything?
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Hi, we can hear
Let me
you.
hear you.
Testing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No.
Are you dead?
You-
Oh, you can't hear us.
No.
Maybe his headphones have died.
Have you blew up your headphones?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there we go. I can hear
Oh.
you guys.
Yay!
Oh man, that hurt. That was weird.
Was it shocking?
Yeah, it was like it felt like an actual shock in my ear. It's
Was it my voice?
no, I think it was actually something just like I don't know,
Yeah. Okay.
some spark coming
Was-
off of it.
Did Ellie use shock and grasp?
Yeah.
I didn't cause that though.
Yeah.
Well, you never cast anything on purpose.
Yeah, true. Actually,
Yeah.
your mind spells are not going off too well either.
No, LA seems to be doing stuff out of pure will.
Mhm.
Yeah,
How far away are the wolves?
Yeah, how far away are the wolves? That
Um,
was my question. Like, thank you, I forgot.
Yeah.
They are about 120 feet behind you guys.
Okay. I will keep running, and can I prepare a spell? Well, not even per spell, but just whenever they get to about say 15 feet,
15
know.
feet. Okay.
let me know.
All right. You guys run for it.
They get that far.
Yeah, if they're that far away,
Sure.
LA will start running for it. Running as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So you
Alright.
guys.
Baron, did you stay to the back with me, or did you carry on?
Well, I'm with you. I'll just keep time with you.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Right.
as they're running,
Nook's just like, and you're just like,
okay, as they're running, Ellie is actually gonna take off her gloves because she knows she does a lot of her spells through her hands, and she doesn't wanna burn them to a crisp. So she's gonna take them off while running and like shoving them in a pocket.
All
And
right.
I'll cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
that's useful.
So
You'll be surprised.
everybody runs. do Varen and Gemini keep pace with Ellie and Grimhook?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am
Maybe
keeping
like
them.
5 feet ahead of them.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, you guys start running. The wolves also give chase. They are faster than you guys, so they start to quite quickly close the gap.
As we're running, do I see anything on the ground at all? Like rocks, plant life,
Tons of stuff.
anything?
Yeah, you see tons of stuff. Leaves, branches, probably
Excellent.
some rocks here and there.
As they're closing on us, I'll use Mage Hand to pick up one of the sticks, branches, and then I'll send it past them. So hopefully they chase the stick like good doggies.
Okay. Roll your deception.
Go get it.
This looks like a focus face.
Dirty 22.
Oh, there you
Jesus.
go.
Yeah.
What's the range of your mage hand?
Let's see here. So, it's 30 feet. It has to be within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
So when it gets to 30 feet, it throws the stick.
There you go. Okay, so it throws the stick. Let me see. Nah, sorry, the wolves don't go for it. There's a moment where one of them kind of looks at it, but the rest of the pack just keeps moving, and he follows the pack.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So they're
one,
getting closer and closer.
there's one more thing Ellie does.
Okay.
She's casting Alter Self. And grows the like claws and a little bit of fangs.
Okay, cool.
And her eyes turn slightly more yellow.
All right.
As they're getting closer, Grimhook will cast Burning Hands at just behind them into the trees and bush, because it ignites any flammable objects in the area. So in a 15-foot cone just behind them, but just into flames.
All right. You kind of turn around for a moment, and you see the wolves now are very close by. You just extend your hand, and a cone of fire ignites from it. And indeed, branches and shrubbery and stuff start to ignite, and this frightens, especially the ones that are immediately confronted by it. You hear yelps, and they kind of stop in their tracks to not run through the fire and just seem to not want away from it. This also makes the ones kind of on the flanks side of the charge. They're immediately looking at what's happening in the center, and their charge seems to, at least for the moment, lessen a bit. They're not going full speed towards you guys.
As Varen sees this, because he's noticed that he's slowed down, he's going to cast Lay on Hands himself while he's at this.
Okay.
Are you injured?
Yes.
Did I not?
He's been in the gelatinous cube.
You did, but I have a lot of HP.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, just give myself 8 points.
Fair enough. Grimhook will sort of turn to Varen, be like, do you have anything that can make a very loud noise?
I do, but it's a one-time thing. We only have one chance.
Oh.
And I need to hit something.
It's hard to casually have this discussion, so you guys are yelling this at each other while running, I'm assuming. Both of you have kind of on more occasions than one looked back, and you see you haven't had time to properly count them, but you see at least 20 wolves giving chase. You've both been in more than a few scraps, and you're worried if you're going to have to stand your guard against these things. Yeah, they seem determined to charge and attack, and they don't seem to be acting very natural like.
Yes.
Um,
I don't think we can take on that many. I mean, we took on, what, 3, 5 when we were at the tree before, but that hurt a lot.
Can I, as we run, and as soon as I get, like, if I can quickly, like, look around, and can I, like, kind of prepare, like, got enough energy and cast a fireball behind me as we run?
Sure.
And
How
Try to-
close are they?
At this point, they're about 50 feet or so behind you. They were closer, but because of the spray of fire, they kind of lagged behind. But they've seemed to more or less regrouped, and they're about to give charge again.
All right, I'm gonna. Okay, I'll watch her do her thing. Sure. No, like what the hell?
okay, fireballs.
Do you throw it at one of those wolves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna, like, okay, there's a wolf, throw it in that direction. I'm not super much aiming, but you know, I wanted to hit really bad. 13.
13. You throw at one of these wolves, and you just strike one of the trees.
Okay. I'm keeping running, by the way. I'm not stopping to look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have one more plan. How far away are they?
About 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay.
Yeah, but they're going to be closer very soon.
I'll keep running for a bit.
Okay.
Until they're about 30 feet away.
All right.
And
I'm gonna do anything else in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around. Whatever the closest one is, I'm just gonna say, "Sit, you little bitch, sit!" and cast vicious mockery.
He immediately sits and causes a wolf pile up behind him.
Yeah. Wisdom 13.
Good point. Good point.
I rolled a natural 19, so
Oh.
he's okay.
Oh
No,
dear.
does nothing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just looks at you and growls. I'm gonna tear
Baron-
your throat out first.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Vern being in quite a few battles, he's gonna have a look around and see if he can see which the wolf leader is. Like the alpha wolf.
The alpha wolf. Ooh. Roll an animal handling.
Ooh.
I hope this works.
Well,
That's
he's
probably not going to be great, actually. No. It's just an 8.
An 8. They seem just like a wave of wolves. They all seem nasty to you.
Maybe we should go up the tree. I don't think they can't climb trees, as we discovered last time. That might be our only safe bet.
Could try climbing a tree. It worked last time, yes.
Grimhook will shout, go. And just
Gemini climbs a tree.
All right.
Ellie will follow suit.
Everybody
Maybe not
that
the same
climbs a
tree,
tree,
but we'll try to climb a tree. Closest.
roll
best
an
one.
athletics check.
Oof.
Athletics.
I'll be last,
Okay.
but I'll climb a tree.
Can I roll with
Grimhook
advantage
will
because I
head
have
to the
claws?
tree, but not immediately
Yes.
climb it.
Yay!
I rolled the advantage because I have a claw?
No.
That's fair.
Uh,
Oh my god, 19, sweet.
There you go.
what did you say?
Oh dear.
Athletics?
Yeah.
Fuck. 13.
13. Okay.
I was hoping we'd go to 15, but it went down.
It's only a 10 for Vern, actually. It's not great.
Grimhook?
15.
Okay. Everybody manages to start to climb in a tree. As you guys were running, all three of you, I would assume that you're all climbing in a different tree, unless you take extra effort to climb into a similar tree as somebody else.
Oh no,
Did any one of you?
Ellie's just going for a tree, best tree.
Yeah, just the closest tree, and you just
Yeah, that's
climb
what
it.
Jim and I did too. Just
Yeah.
saw the sturdiest tree and fucking
Yeah,
bolted
okay.
right at it.
Yeah, not like you see this tiny little tree just 2 inches above the ground, like this is not working.
Shifting.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so you everybody below a 15 will definitely hear some snapping going on at your feet, but luckily everybody rolled above or 10 or above, so you guys managed to get into a tree safely enough, but you wouldn't mind to be a little bit higher before they start snapping at you, but apparently they can't reach you at this point anymore, and you hear howling and growling and scratching against the tree.
I want to send a fireball down at the wolf that's trying to climb my tree.
Okay, you kind of look down and you see there's 2 wolves at your tree, and they're kind of jumping and biting and scratching against the tree. One of them has an arrow sticking in his right eye. He's just you see blood kind of dripping past its face.
Kill that one. I want that bolt back.
Yeah, it's injured, so I'll go for it and just send
Okay.
fireball down.
You will have to let go with at least one hand. So if you want to cast it now, you will have to roll another athletics check to not drop out of the tree.
Is anybody in the same tree as somebody else, or did we just all separate
No,
trees?
like I said, you probably all are in different trees unless somebody took extra effort to get into another the similar tree.
Got it.
Nobody did.
I'm like, do I metagame or not now?
I don't think that's metagaming. You would know that you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Take
but
hand
would
off,
Ellie
you know.
care? That's my point.
that's up to you. You
She would
are
probably climb up to a branch and heave herself up on the branch and then cast one.
Okay, so you continue to climb.
Yeah.
You would, damn it, you're kind of pissed off at yourself. You would think that it would go faster with these claws, but you're having trouble pulling yourself up. Your grip is good enough, but it's just, yeah, man, it's probably the acid still kind of fucking with you. But you pull yourself up just like everybody else does. You kind of climb the tree, and all of you find a branch, or at least somewhere where you could grab yourself onwards quite safely, that
As
you
I'm
have
going.
at least one hand free.
Like, as we're going up to our branches and stuff, can I just start slinging out vicious mockeries left and right? Like, you're a bitch, and you're a bitch, and you're a bitch.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Verd's going to take another look around and see if he can spot the alpha. I don't think it's going to work, but sure.
Roll your animal handling, but this time with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Right.
Because fuck you for asking twice.
Actually was better.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a 15.
That's a 15. You climb upwards, and as you kind of hold onto the tree. Meanwhile, I'm not going to have you or have me roll for this vicious mockery. I'll just assume that some of the wolves are being affected by it. You kind of look around, Varen, kind of holding on to a sturdy branch, and start to try to examine these wolves, and you have the feeling that there's one of them that seems to be just a bit more calmer and more focused than the rest.
I'll target that one then.
Okay, with what?
I'm gonna hit it with command. It's
throw your axe at it.
Wisdom 13. It's only verbal requirement, so I don't actually have to take my hands off for it. So I'll turn to the wolf and say, "Flee."
Okay. Does it need to be able to understand you, or?
Succeed a wisdom. Effect undead. Doesn't understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful to it, it doesn't work.
Sorry, these are not trained wolves, so they don't understand you. You would know this with your animal handling.
Well, was going to go through with it anyway, but sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's up to you. You can still cast a spell, but you would probably know with your animal handling roll that you did just now that flee is not something that a wolf would normally understand if it's just called it to it in
needs to
human
understand
language.
what language I'm speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Right. No, I'll retract that then.
Okay. So you are throwing out you're just insulting these wolves left and right, and you see some of them, and they start to kind of try to get away from your tree and start to focus on the other trees, but they're clearly noticing that you guys are too high up and they can't get to you. Are you doing anything, Ellie and Grimhook?
Yeah, as soon as I'm up on the branch, I'm gonna cast fireballs at them because fuck these bitches.
Okay,
Yeah.
you just start hurling down fireballs at them
Yes.
and hitting more of them than you miss, definitely. So you just these wolves start to yelp and stuff, and this definitely motivates them to quickly retreat.
I talk shit as they run. I just keep on viciously mocking them.
Yeah. As long as I can see them, I will keep throwing fireballs at them because I have 120 feet range and dark vision, so I can probably cast for quite a bit.
Yeah, well, your dark vision only goes for 60 feet.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still quite a bit.
But still, and it's not that dark here,
Exactly.
but you can definitely keep hurling some firebolts for a while. You do start to notice that you start to miss more often than not because there's more trees between you and the wolves. But you hurling these firebolts and just shocks here and there of these insults definitely motivates them to retreat. And you see a couple of parts where you hit a tree more often. It just starts to smoke a bit, and yeah, the wolves have left your line of sight. Whew.
Grimhook will get down from the tree.
Vern's going to take another quick look just to make sure that they're not double backing.
Roll your perception.
Gemini's gonna sit his ass in that tree.
That's a 17.
17. You look, you listen, you only hear the normal sounds of forest that you would expect. Even a little less than that, because you're in this dark forest and there's not that much birds going on around here. And you hear a loud as Grimhook kind of lands the last part into the ground, and he just...
Seems safe so nice.
Any wolf bodies about?
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple.
Is the one that I hit with the crossbow bolt kicking about?
It is. It's
Good,
dead.
I'm going to get my bolt back.
You try to get your
Roughly.
bolt back, and it's burned.
And also heavily insulted.
Yeah. Actually snapped in half because of it.
Yeah, it just felt really bad. And it
Just etched into the burnt wood.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. He just swears and then kicks the wall.
Uh-huh.
The corpse. I'm sorry.
Oh, the corpse does nothing. But
Vern
you
will climb
do
down as
4
well.
points of damage. There you go.
Okay. If did Varen say it seemed safe?
He probably said it under his breath, but he'll climb down and go,
Yeah.
it seems that they have gone. It's safe for now.
Are you sure you don't want to be bait and lure them out so we can continue? That was quite fun.
I'd like to get out of here before it gets dark.
Yes, if it gets too dark, it might get more difficult.
Potty. Fine.
You are more than welcome to stay. We'll pick you up tomorrow.
You
Or what's
clearly
left
can't
of
handle
you.
this without me.
Okay, Ellie is also gonna start climbing down. When it seems like it's a safe distance to jump, she will jump.
All right.
Yes, I-
Are you still draconic looking?
Yes.
Does Grimhook notice this?
It depends how
Roll your
closely
perception.
does he look at her.
Yeah, he'd just be generally looking around, counting heads. Just like, right, there's the asshole, there's the paladin, where's the little one? That is 7, 5, 12.
Nah.
Well,
No.
well, if there's some light, you can see her eyes reflecting slightly yellow. But you probably haven't really paid attention to her eye color before, so you're like, normal.
Gnomes.
Yeah.
All the colors of the rainbows, man.
Yeah, we dwarves have got practical night vision. They have to have their eyes glowing.
Well then,
I think Vern will take a wee quick one over on the wolves just to see if there's any abnormalities, or if he can see
Roll your
anything.
perception or investigation in this case.
Investigation. That's a 21.
21. Yeah, you definitely notice something off about these wolves. They all seem to have the same abnormality. There is something. There's a bit of fur missing at a bit of their chest, and there's something strange growing there. It almost looks a bit like a wart or something like that.
Grimhook, you might want to take a look at this. I'll point him to the wart and go, have you seen anything like this before? It seems abnormal.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Roll your history, or you can also roll your arcana or religion.
Can I give that a go, or can I assist him?
You can assist him.
Was an assist is advantage, isn't it?
Yeah.
15.
15. You would think that this is a marking of sorts, that the hag. Giving them is not really the right word for it. If things, especially low intelligence creatures, have a long lasting relationship with an entity like a hag, they might start showing physical deformities like this, like markings.
Oh, so it's more like a transfer of like marks, like it's like some of the hag's characteristics is transferring over.
Kind of, yeah.
Vern will take out like one of the wee hand axes, use the top of the tree down, and he'll sort of like, kind of like slice it off or chop it off to see if it reacts or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You cut it off. The axe isn't a really great tool for this.
No.
Gemini has no idea what's going on, right?
No, you just see them looking at the wolves, and then suddenly Varen just grabbing his axe and starts to kind of push it into the chest of this wolf.
Are we going to eat them?
Grimhook will try and go. It's got a mark. They've been under the thrall of the hag.
Oh. But are we going to eat them?
No,
You're
I think it's
welcome
best
to.
we leave.
I've always found wolf meat to be a bit stringy.
Fair enough. Never tried it.
You manage to cut off the lump.
Right. Is it just like a pus ball, or is it just like a lump of flesh?
No, it's very much like a mold. It's just dark flesh and just meat, fatty kind of.
Right.
Grimhook will sort of look at it and go, leave it. It's just a symptom of the problem.
Probably, yes. Although I wish to try one more thing. Just he'll light up a torch and see if he can burn it.
Yeah, definitely. it first starts to simmer, and you hear, but after a while, it smells like barbecue.
Grimhook will turn to Gemini and go, "We have a piece here if you want to try some."
Oh dear.
No, apparently it's stringy. And also, you holy types are very strange.
Can we just start going?
Yes, I've tested as much as I want. It's grotesque. We should leave.
Ellie is
Yes.
also gonna pull up a hood. I can't have my hair up apparently because this thing is in the way.
And to answer your question, Gemini, I like to know as much about my enemy as much as possible. It makes it easier.
Fair enough. Thank you for giving me a straight answer. Look over at Grimhook.
Oh dear.
Pots meet kettle.
Apply
So,
steam.
Yeah.
seeing the sun shifting, you definitely go like, "Shit, we need to move. We need to move. We need to get out of here before nightfall." So you guys start to book it again, and there's a considerable speed that you need to travel in. So I'll have everybody roll a Constitution check.
Oh wait, actually, I think my constitution is pretty good.
There you go.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Baron's not feeling it. Baron
That's,
just got that's a one.
that's an
One?
18 for Grimhook.
Yeah, I think he was a wee bit more damaged by the cube than he thought.
12.
Okay.
Rusty 19.
What did you get, Grimhook?
18.
18. Okay. So the three of you manage quite well. But you notice that Varen starts to lag behind. And you look a bit like, what's going on? And Varen, you don't know what's going on. Maybe it's this... You start to barf. As you...
Oh dear God, it's spread! He caught the wolf mole!
It appears that eating gelatinous cube was not good for your health.
Yes.
And I thought I had acid resistance.
Just a moment.
Was that a phone or a piece of wood?
Could be both.
There we go.
Look like wood, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to kill something.
Ah,
Yep.
ah,
That'll do it.
Yes.
I did not see.
Dramax Pearl.
Killer. Murderer.
Damn
Didn't
kid
even
keeps
roll.
bothering me. Yeah.
uh,
Does
Yeah,
that
I
waste
do-
my my acid breath? Does it? Yeah.
No.
That's right.
should
No, but you see there's a little bit of blood in your vomit and stuff, and it oh man, you can feel your stomach kind of turning, and this running has not been good for you.
Come
perhaps
on,
we should,
Marin. Just a little bit more.
I think I need a minute.
perhaps we should take a short rest.
Grimhook, you are like no time people time.
No.
I'm
I
late.
must
I'm late.
head
I'm
on.
late.
Grimhook will quickly go back to him and sort of try and look him up and down and go, what do you need? And sort of try and, I don't know, see if he can work out what's wrong with him. And if he can help.
What is your medicine, Varen?
My medicine?
Are you proficient in it?
I am not proficient in medicine, no. And it's
Okay.
a 0.
Roll it anyway.
13.
13. You definitely think gulping down part of this gelatinous cube was not is doing a job on your intestines, and you think you could probably manage. It's not like you're, oh my god, I'm dying, but because you luckily have acid resistance, but they don't like it. it's not. There's acid where there's no acid supposed to be.
Yeah. The acid in my stomach disagrees with the acid of that
Yeah.
gelatin.
Could magic heal it, or would Grimhook? Or well, I don't know if Farron tells him that that he drank some acid.
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mentioned that. Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah. Would Grimhook know if magic could help this?
There are definitely magics that would be able to help this. Yes.
Would cure wounds help this?
No.
That's what I was.
Or
Would certainly help my HP, but
Yeah.
Him and I, knowing nothing about this, just cast cure wounds on him anyways. He's like, yeah, this'll fix it.
hold on a
Alright.
sec. You know healing magic?
Yeah,
We lost a fucking character. You bastard.
pretty much.
because he separated from the healer.
Okay.
We didn't know you were a healer.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We did.
Yeah,
I
we did.
never noticed you casting.
I've healed you before.
Vince was just a radiant power of energy. He healed himself.
Yeah.
No.
It was natural regeneration.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, come on, guys.
That's a 6. You get 6 HP back.
Cheers.
Varian, can you make it till we're out of the forest?
I can give it another go. Yes. We have to. I don't want to stay behind and getting killed.
All right. You can push through it, Varen, but at the end of your travels, as you kind of reach the edge, you would then get a point of exhaustion.
Yep. Going for it.
Okay, so you kind of slap yourself in the face, and as you, by the way, Grimhook, kind of look at it and try to estimate what's going on. You think curing wounds is just pretty much closing up wounds that are there. This will more be a restoration type of spell that would take away diseases or things like that. And that would definitely do more good in this kind of situation. But
I could do that if I had any second level spell slots.
I
There you
could
go.
also do that if I had any HP left in my lay on hands.
there you go.
So,
Well, then.
just because I'm curious, does that mean it's a level 1 exhaustion now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a disadvantage just on ability checks.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All
How
right.
far
Actually.
are we from safety?
You'd say at least an hour and a half movement from here.
Oh, you can actually put it on D&D.
Ooh.
Sorry, what did you say?
You can put it on D&D Beyond. You can put exhaustion level 1 down.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well then.
Okay, after about an hour, Ellie's like fanged and claws disappears.
Okay.
FYI.
So you guys keep running, and you are. I don't know if you are, but I would assume that you could be quite grateful of the fact that the wolves don't seem to reappear after a short while. They seem to have really decided to not attack again. And you guys move onwards and find your way finally to the edge of this forest. Or at least this part of the forest. You're still in the forest.
Right then. Let us rest.
Yeah, you, Varen, go like, holy shit. You feel acid reflux coming up again.
Oh. Yes, I agree.
Yes. You okay there?
I'm hanging in there.
If you swallowed all that, I think it might be best if you get rid of it rather than trying to keep it down.
I think that was the last of it. I hope. Anyone want to set up camp? I need to lie down.
I
You,
can take first watch, guys.
Okay.
Beautiful. Jim and I just lays right down.
You will know, Varen, that you will need a full, undisturbed 8 hours of rest to get rid of this exhaustion. You are just it's been rare that you've been this tired and just you've pushed through a certain barrier that you rather not have pushed through, but we're sure that you needed it.
Yep. So the second he rolls out his bedroll, he's not even going to take his armor off.
Okay.
Just collapses.
Are you gonna tell anybody, or are you gonna let them wake you up? Because that would not be good.
I don't think he would. I think he would just be so exhausted that he would just pass out.
Okay. You just collapse in your armor. And, well, you fall asleep. You also just drop down and go to sleep, Gemini?
Yeah.
Okay. Grimhook, what do you do?
Well, he'll sit down for, I would say, a chill. He doesn't really chill. He's a dwarf. He has no chill.
Do you wear armor, Grimhook?
It's scale, so like leather plates, I think it is. So.
You kind of look at Varen, and you see him he just collapsed pretty much and just was like, I need to sleep. And he's lying there, and there are a couple of things you can tell. You have medicine, right? I'm assuming.
It's not tagged, but I have +5.
You have +5. Okay, so you kind of look at him, and being an armor wearer yourself, you can see him lying there, and he's snoring quite loud. He's not lying in a very comfortable resting position. And this definitely has to do with the fact that he's wearing his armor still. He's just his neck is in a weird position, and he's just sleeping because he's just that tired. But even though he's sleeping, you are quite sure that this is not going to be a very relaxing sleep for him. This is not going to recuperate him that much, and he looked like he needed it.
He'll go over and sort of give his leg a kick and be like, we need to get you out of this armor first. And he'll just start unstrapping his arms and stuff, but still trying to wake him up so he can do it himself, but unstrapping as much as he can.
I'll leave it to you, Varen, if you want to wake up or not.
Gemini hears the sound of one man undressing another, and
I'll try this as a constitution.
Oh, it's that kind of party. Yeah.
Varen does get the last of his constitution to wake up. So he sees him, and he's like, yes, true, yes.
Come on,
passed out.
Let me
Ellie
help.
will just also come and like quick help.
Okay, well, with the three of you, the armor's off in no time. So, right. And just as the last bit comes off, you again go like, fuck.
Yeah. You the...
Yeah, exactly. So it's only Grimhook, Gemini woke up from all of this commotion.
Right, but, and then he's just gonna get bored of it and go to sleep.
Dang it. Getting your hopes up for nothing, yeah. You just fuck it, just collapse again. So it's just Ellie and Grimhook.
Being a dwarf, can I rest while doing shit?
No.
Well, I was just saying because he's going to want to carry on working, but he's not going to like actively do stuff. I was just thinking, like, he takes Varen's armor and just starts like buffing out the divots where.
No, you do need sleep.
Okay, well then,
you'll do it during your watch, though, sort of.
No, that was going to be my backup plan. Don't worry. You just want your armor cleaned, fuck you.
No, not really. If Varen could see you right now, he wouldn't want you to touch on his armor, so.
But it's fine. He'll be alright. Good dwarven craftsmanship.
You don't know that, so it's fine.
Yeah. No, he'll settle down and he'll turn to Ellie and be like, "Wake me up when your watch is over." And
Ellie will just like
settle down for sleep.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys. You go to sleep as well, Grimhook. You're gonna lie down. And did you guys start a fire?
Ellie's gonna do that during the first part of her watch because she's really restless and a little bit
Okay.
itchy, so it's something she's gonna like fiddle with for a while.
Yeah, you start to fire up, and as you're lying there, Grimhook, you close your eyes. You can just picture this beautiful ring around your finger. You're like, oh man, that would be so beautiful. That would be, yeah, yeah. Your god probably intended that this ring needed to be yours, because, damn, such a wonderful ring. And you just, as you kind of open your eyes, you see yourself just kind of looking. As you're the first thing you see as you kind of open your eyes, like, why am I thinking about this shit? The first thing you see is Gemini lying there, and he has like this smile on his face. He's just like, you're like, bastard. He's just smiling because the ring is his. You have similar thoughts, Ellie. As you're kind of sitting there and everything is quiet down a bit. You're like,
There's
they
the
all
pocket.
had their time with the ring, especially now Gemini. Even though you didn't see him fiddling around with it during your travels, all this your run back out of the forest. But everybody seemed to have been holding on to it way longer than you.
Ellie's gonna like look around. She's gonna look at Varin. She's gonna look at Grimhook.
You see Grimhook at that moment probably just lying on his side, just kind of looking at the pocket. And he's just, closing his eyes again, opening his eyes again, closing his eyes again, opening his eyes again.
Gonna look at the
To
pocket.
be fair, that could just be misinterpreted as, you know, he's keeping an eye on Gemini in general.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
I don't
But it's
trust
like-
that fucker.
Trust him as far as you can throw him. Yeah.
But and like she's gonna look at the pocket. She's gonna look at Grimhook. Oh, Grimhook is kinda seemingly
Yeah, no,
not
you
super sleeping. God
You
damn
see
it!
Grimhook slowly, his eyes just barely open, and he just falls asleep.
She's gonna like stand up carefully, slowly, and cautiously, kind of slowly.
How does Gemini sleep? Is he like a quiet sleeper, or is he like?
Yeah, pretty much. He like hums in his sleep and just
Oh yeah, there you go. I figured as much. Yeah, didn't want to assume.
Is he in a bedroll or is it like kind of on the bedroll and you can see the pocket and like?
He would be in his bedroll. He would have laid out the
Ah.
big. He would have.
Yeah, but like if it's in
How
the
dare
bedroll,
you
it's
be
kind of
comfortable to sleep?
she can't really get to it then, not easily.
Mhm.
Did he, by any chance, take off his jacket?
Never.
Oh, God damn it! Oh well, she will still like walk close and be like, I probably can't get to it without waking him. I want it, but I don't want to wake him.
You're very small, and your hands are tiny.
Yeah.
Little devil DM on your shoulder there.
She's gonna just stand there and stare at Gemini for a bit and be like, but
Just what is your passive perception, Gemini?
15.
15. You're lying there. You're like, you're having your usual, quite pleasant dreams.
Yes, I am the king
And-
of everything. Thank you.
You start to slowly kind of drift to the surface of your awareness, and you're like, is somebody. You're accustomed to people looking at you,
Hmm?
so you're kind of like, somebody's looking at me. As your eyes kind of just like open for a moment, and you see Ellie just standing there. You realize that it's, oh shit, his eyes are opening.
Hello.
hi. I just thought
What,
I saw something crawling, and it was just a shadow.
Yes.
Just a fire flickering.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Directly over me.
You know shadows.
Insight.
Roll your insight.
Okay. 17.
17. You can roll your deception if you want to.
15.
15. You look at her, Gemini, and you're kind of like, are we telling the complete truth? There's probably some other motive going on around here.
Would I have any idea as to what that motive might be?
No. You guys were pretty close, so you're like, you're just getting this feeling like there might be something else going on about here. Which might actually domino into, oh shit, what's going on? There might be, because you're pretty close to the forest where there's this evil trickster going on around.
Ellie, do you remember when you told me and I kind of look around, make sure nobody's awake? Is anybody awake?
No, they seem to be deep asleep.
Do you remember when you told me your secret?
Yeah.
And I told you that I would do my best to never lie to you.
Yeah.
Well, I feel as though you may be lying to me right now. Would you like to share with me what's going on?
She's just gonna tilt her head. And no, I really thought I saw something. Because she kind of did think she saw something, like an opportunity. It's not a lie. It's not the whole truth.
Commit to it.
And I don't know. I felt like I should check on it.
Oh.
Both of you are kind of, as you're having this conversation, you hear from pretty much the opposite side of the fire, you hear, you both kind of, oh shit, what's going on? And you see Varen kind of mumbling in his sleep and shaking a bit.
We'll pick this up later.
Should I be
Gemini
worried?
climbs out of his knapsack, and then he's gonna walk over and look at Grim, look at Varen, look at Grim.
You see Varen kind of lying in his bedroll. How badly are you shaking there, Varen?
Visibly, if you were very, very cold, so yeah, quite visibly.
And are you making cohesive sounds or just mumbling?
You'll hear bits and pieces, stuff like, Ellie, no. And then he'll sort of go back to sleep. No.
No means no.
No.
The hell did you do to him?
Not again. No.
What?
I'm just gonna look
basically all you'll
really confused. I haven't done anything. Does he look cold?
Ellie, I'm not. This is definitely not something that, as a DM, I'm pushing into your mind. But just for you to be aware of all this, Gemini's kind of focused on Varen for a moment, and he's definitely standing, and his coat is just hanging off of him.
I'll look over at Grimhook. Fuck, I don't want to wake this guy. I don't like this guy. Less conversation, the better. But I don't know what to do about this.
Ellie's hand is gonna start drifting towards the pocket, and she's gonna try to grab it.
Pickpocket?
Yeah, pickpocket.
Okay. Roll your pickpocket.
What's that?
Okay.
Sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Is this against my passive perception or my perception? Okay. Passive?
Passive, yeah, because you probably wouldn't be like...
Yeah, I wouldn't be actively. Yeah.
No.
11.
11. Nope. You suddenly feel Ellie's hand go into your pocket, and you're like, "What the?"
Mage hand
Oh.
flickering it out.
I see what this is. Ellie?
Yeah.
No,
Big
yes.
eyes.
I'll.
No eyebrows. Like, yeah.
Oh, that's nightmares. Grimhook! Grimhook, wake up!
Yeah. What is it? We under attack? And he'll quickly get up and grab his.
I'm actually
axes.
unsure. Baron over there is shaking like a leaf in the wind, and Ellie over here is trying to be a little Gemini, which I respect, but not against big Gemini. So he's gonna take a step back. You help with Baron. I'm going to settle this right now. I'll cast Mage Hand.
Grimhook will sort of start and go, hold on. Little Gemini, big Gemini. You're using a lot of words but not saying anything. What exactly is
No,
happening?
it's just no. I'm saying a lot of things. You just can't understand them.
Correct. Be more coherent.
Baron, shaking. That your problem. The rest, my problem. Go.
It depends what the other problem is.
No, it
Ellie's
doesn't.
just gonna like take a step back.
Just
Step
wake up,
back.
Baron.
And like try to walk out of Gemini's sight. Because
Grim,
she doesn't like to being caught out.
Grimhook will go over and take a look at Vern, but will keep an eye on those two as best he can.
Okay, so you kind of move to the other side of Varen just so
Yeah.
you have them in your scope of view as well.
Jelly's like slowly backing away.
And you're like, step back,
I'm
step
gonna cast
back,
Mage Hand.
back.
Put it in my pocket. And have Mage Hand cover the ring well in
Uh-huh.
my pocket, and wait for Baron to wake up.
Are you waking Varen, Grimhook?
I didn't think so. I thought I was just inspecting him to see what was wrong.
Okay, because Varen is in a deep, deep sleep. You will
Okay.
need
He's-
to be
he's
like,
buttered.
wake the fuck up!
Kill him over. No. Don't
He
kill him.
he seems. You roll your medicine. Let me roll.
14.
14. Is there anything medical that he could perceive on you, Varen?
Other than being still a bit injured and still exhausted and maybe having a few acid refluxes from eating a gelatinous cube, that's probably about it.
Okay, that's pretty much what you pick up on, Grimhook. And the fact that you're talking to your wife. That's also good.
So maybe
Uh,
don't pick up on
well.
anything.
I don't think it would be medical, but I suppose someone with medicine would probably know that someone talking in their sleep is a common occurrence.
So yes, from the gist I gathered, sorry, someone came in. He was injured, or injuries from the
Priorities.
battle, but otherwise, it's a bad dream, and he's talking in his sleep.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, then he's not going to be a part of what happens next. But you two are. Allie, come back. Where? Good God, wait.
And he's just way back.
I'm in the shadows. You can't see me. Like stop moving.
You
Like,
can't see me. You can't see me.
no, she's probably not wandering too far, but it's like it's kind of clear that she put some distance on purpose between you guys.
Here's what we're going to do wherever you went. Pulls the ring out with Mage Hand, palm up, like 20 feet in the
Nice.
air.
Grimhook, you suddenly find Varen way less interesting.
Here
We'll come
is what
round.
we are going to do. Allie, are you coming?
Yeah, I will walk
Excellent.
forward again. A little
We
bit.
are going to have a vote. We're going to vote on who in the party we think should have the ring, but none of us can vote for ourselves. And if it is a tie, I'm going to chuck this motherfucker as far as I can into the forest and cast a spell on it so it cannot be detected ever. Do you understand?
Ellie's just
Grimhook sort of
looking,
chuckles
taking her back,
and
like,
goes. Yeah, Grimhook sort of laughs and goes, "You're not capable of such magics, but
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Well, you weren't much use against the blob.
I killed the blob. Are you? Do you not have a good? Is your body too small to contain memory? Is that what's happening here?
Is yours. I think you'll find you cast
I
a
throw the
fairly
fucking ring. I
weak-
throw the fucking ring as hard as I can with Mage Hand.
Ellie's eyes like, can I see where it lands?
Yeah, same with Grimhook Kill. Let's see where it goes.
You, Mage Hand, I believe, is not very strong, so it can't throw objects at an extremely far distance.
It
You
can
could-
carry objects of up to 10 pounds, and it can get away from me up to 30.
Yeah. So if you would wanted to, from a passive position, to have it like throw something, it won't go that far. You could probably move it and then have it throw, which will definitely add to the momentum of the ring. Is that what you do?
I start to do that. That's
Okay.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to start to do that, and then I'm going to be like, do you want to test me?
No.
We can do it this way, or we can do it...
Ellie's like reaching for it. Obviously
We
not
can do it
reaching
this
it,
way.
but like,
We can do it this way, or we can continue to bitch and argue about it, and probably all die to the hag because, let's face it, you're all being idiots. We can't vote for ourselves. If it's a tie, go ahead, Ellie.
she's not saying it. She just looked like this is a bad
Mhm.
idea.
Yeah,
If it's a
Grimhook
tie,
will-
nobody gets the ring.
Yeah, Grimhook will look at this and go, am I to understand that ring was potentially trying to be stolen from you? Sparking
No.
this whole debate. Then why? Why bring this up now?
Because I noticed you looking at me before I fell asleep.
Did you? You were asleep first.
Did I? That's why I'm trying.
No,
that's why I'm
Yeah,
looking
no,
at the
you,
DM.
you were calmed
You-
down.
you
Yeah,
didn't-
Grimhook
you didn't
was
notice.
one of
You
the
were
last to
already
sleep.
asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, because it just came to my mind. You need not worry about that.
I will worry about that. Because whoever has that ring, because I want that ring. And I want
Yeah, I
that
know you
ring
want that
because
ring.
it is dwarven made. and
We're
it
voting now. I
exists.
vote for Grimhook.
Ooh, good choice. Yeah.
He will
Ellie?
damn you internally for that because you'll have stopped him dead in his tracks.
You hear fizzling, and then you hear an arm go up, and
I've
I'm over Gemini.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm like,
All right. So,
He's still asleep, by the way, completely
Yeah.
asleep.
I'm
ooh,
fine with
Gemini might have mimicked this.
Grimhook
Ellie,
will
your turn.
No.
Oh, go ahead, Grimhook.
Yeah.
That's fine.
yell, point and go. The paladin then.
Okay. So, Ellie, you can't vote for yourself. And that's about it. You can vote for any of the other three.
it's like she's doing the math. No matter how she votes, someone's gonna get 2 votes, and she doesn't like it.
Nobody voted for you. Damn it.
Yeah, and that, like, that is so rude. And it's like, 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 Grimhook is new. He definitely can't be having it. And Gemini has it now, so it's not fair for him to keep it. But Fairy
Very true.
denied her getting it. Like, he pulled it out of her reach. So that's not fair either. It's like,
Yes. You're not wrong.
Shall we get the dice out?
yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, if I'm rolling a d6, if it's 2 or lower, it's Grimhook. 2 to 4, 3 to 4 is Gemini, and 5, 6 it's Varin.
Okay.
Gemini. And like, and just like saying it really quick, like, no, wait, that's not the name I meant to say.
I'll bring the hand back down, and I'll be like, excellent. Now that the voting is done, the ring is mine. And because the ring is mine, I can do whatever the hell I want. So, guess what? Grimhook, the ring is yours. And the hand brings it over to you. Ding.
Grimhook looks confused.
There, now that that's all settled, whoever is awake, keep an eye on Baron. It appears he needs quite a bit of rest. So maybe don't wake him. Are you sure he's okay?
No, I'm okay, Gemini.
Right then. Nobody else fiddle with me while I'm in my sleeping sack, unless you're going to make it worth my while. Good night.
Grimhook sort of looks at the ring and goes, I might. He's going to come over to you before you go to sleep and say, why?
Honestly, because it has been a source of contention. And if Allie has the ring, then I'm afraid that you are going to go after her, or Baron will go after her. It does not affect me. And if that happens, I will have to kill you. If either of you go after Baron, I'll help him. If they go after you, it's no skin off my back. Good night.
Grimhook just sort of chuckles and goes, good reason.
Ellie's eyes is on Grimhook. She's tracking where he puts that ring.
This is a magical item, isn't it?
You would think so, yes.
Well, I was more thinking I would have to attune it before I wore it. Would that be?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Not all magical items, but
No.
Well, I was just...
rings tend to be, yeah.
Well, because I was going to say he would... he'd put it on.
Yeah. All right. You feel it slide on your finger, and at first seems to be that your fingers are too thick for it, but the ring just seems to adjust, and it fits perfectly. And you feel it on your hand, and it's like suddenly you realize that this is always the way you imagined your hand to look like. This ring just needed to be there. As a child, you already had the thoughts like, this is what my hand looks like in your mind's eye.
Who imagines their hand as a child? That's a lonely life.
Your best friend
Depends
now
whether you
has
have
what
a
it
girlfriend or
needs.
not, I suppose.
So you will need to spend I believe it's a short rest,
Half hour, yeah.
half an hour, to attune it to you. Do you do this?
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll do it tonight.
Yeah. All right. There you go. You kind of sit there and look at it, and it just there's a how do I put it? There's a very content feeling that kind of rests on you, like, yeah, this is good. And as the half hour passes, Ellie will probably have not lose you out of her sight for this entire half hour. You just suddenly feel that this ring, its magical energy just starts to go through your body, and you are a happy camper.
Cool.
And I'll add the ring to your inventory.
Yeah.
So, you go to rest after this half an hour, or do you do anything else?
No, I'd say once he's done, he'll settle back down, and he'll make sure to wrap himself up in his bedroll quite well, and make sure that the hand with the ring on it is right in there, tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have it between his legs, dear enough, if he can. Just
Okay, awesome. So everybody's asleep again, Ellie. Anything you do?
except staring at Grimhook and plotting his demise. Well, maybe not demise, but loss of a hand, finger, ring. Doesn't need that much. Doesn't need 10 fingers. Yeah, she will probably in the end manage to pull her eyes away and be like, damn it, that Gemini caught her out, and fuck's sake, I lied to him. Didn't I promise not to lie to him? I feel a little bit bad about that now that Gemini doesn't have the ring anymore. But,
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's all Gemini's fault, not really Grimhook's.
No, it's definitely
Not at all.
Grimhook's. Like,
Him to blame.
Grimhook hadn't been so fucking stubborn. Maybe
But
Gemini would have voted for her instead.
Of course he's
Ooh,
stubborn.
yeah.
He's a dwarf. It's like their thing.
It's totally Grimhook's fault. Shouldn't been a dwarf.
Yeah. Think twice about being a dwarf again, wouldn't you? Yeah. Next time you
Yeah.
roll a character.
And get up and like pace and look out into the forest and feel a bit restless and itch her head. It feels weird to not have hair. Who like the hood, like snug. Don't like the feeling. It's weird, and she's pretty sure she can feel something a little bit higher up on her neck than it used to be, and she's trying to not touch it too much.
Okay,
And then like keep an eye out,
very well.
and just feel restless and anxious, and kinda just wanna be done with this forest.
How long do you keep watch?
Until I feel too tired, then I will wake.
Roll your Constitution.
14.
14. Okay, so you manage for quite a while, but after a while you notice that your eyes are starting to kind of droop, and you feel like, yeah, I've definitely done my part. You should wake somebody up.
Gonna look at Gemini. Gonna look at Grimhook, Gemini, Grimhook, and decide to wake up Grimhook. And she's gonna use prestidigitation and make an odd smell appear under his nose. To see if
Sure.
that wakes him up.
Isn't it that your smell actually cancels out when you're asleep? I read that somewhere, I think.
How does it?
I don't remember.
No.
It can, but depending if you're hungry and someone starts cooking food, your nose automatically picks up on it.
Okay, there you go. Well, then you probably smell it because you could eat. You're like, oh man, somebody farted. Oh, it's you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I make it like whisper under my breath and make it appear in his like sleeping bag as well. It's definitely coming from in there.
He wouldn't wake up though. Or well, he might wake up, but he wouldn't like get up. He'll just, and
Just turn around like.
She will, if that seeing that doesn't work, she will just make a noise instead, like next to his ear. It's kind of harmless, but it's still might wake him up.
What do you do with his ear?
She's using prestidigitation to make a noise,
Okay.
like right
You hear, like-
next to his ear.
Alright. His eyes goes. What?
Oh, good, you're
Sure.
awake. It's your turn to take a watch.
You wake up, and the first thing you go like, a ring, and yeah, it's there.
You beat me to it. Just like, yeah. Or well, even yeah, still there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he'll get up and stretch and pack his bedroll away and.
Okay. And you start to keep watch. I added the ring to your inventory, by the way, so you
Oh,
can equip it
Happens.
and choose it.
Yeah.
So you keep watch. Roll
While
your
he's-
perception.
While he was watching, he'll have went over and grabbed a piece of Varen's armor, whichever bit looked the most battered from the acid, and just buff it out and just like absentmindedly trying to repair some of the damage if at all possible.
Okay. That's easily doable.
Perception is 15.
There you go. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary, so your watch kind of continues on uninterrupted.
And he goes on for as long as he can, even maybe a wee bit longer, given dwarf stubborn has to work.
Yeah. So you take definitely a big chunk of the watch, but after a while you kind of look at Gemini, who's just lying there with a smile on his face. You just think like, wait, I'm actually having him take less of a watch then. Nah, maybe I should wake him up.
Sorry, I was reading the ring there. Okay, yeah, he'll put the armor back to Varen's as much or as close as he can to where he picked it up from, and then
you definitely did a pretty good job on it. I mean, you have the proficiency in armory, right?
Smith's tools and stuff.
Smith's tools, yeah. So you know how to deal with this stuff. So there's nothing like, oh wow, you made it better or anything. It's just you've been buffing it out and a bit. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Varen wouldn't know this, but I'm guessing he knows the techniques of how to actually make carnivore armor then. Being some sort of armor myth.
Most
not
likely,
to
yeah.
make, but I don't know.
Just coloring the armor and stuff like that. You would know all that, so you would.
Yeah, it's black, bit of charcoal.
Slap it on there. There you go.
Yeah, I would say probably aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, and then he'll go and wake Gemini up. Just go over and sort of shake his shoulder lightly.
Yes.
Yeah, your turn for watch. I think it's best if we let him sleep. If you get tired, wake me up again.
Yes, I said that before I fell asleep. Thank you for repeating it back to me. Good night.
You're always an ass. And he'll get his bedroll out.
All right. So, Gemini, roll your perception.
Oh, God. That's the worst roll of the night for sure. That's a 9.
A 9. Okay, so you sit there. Everything seems quiet and calm. And, yeah, you're perfectly fine.
Start rereading the letter.
Mm-hmm. It gives you a nice feeling when you read it. And, time passes by. It starts to get morning. People start to wake up. And surprisingly, Varen is the first to actually wake up properly. You feel a lot better, Varen. You are just, man, your stomach feels normal again. Yeah, this nap has done you a hell of good.
Ooh, that's much better.
Feeling better, though.
It seems so. Still a bit dizzy, but...
No. Is anybody else awake or just Varen at this moment?
Ellie might wake up, but I'll leave that to her. If she wants to wake up, she can, but...
No, she doesn't wanna.
No, then, yeah. Varen is the only one up, yeah.
She's basically all crawled up in her sleeping bag. She kind of crawled into it, so unless you spot the sleeping bag, you probably can't see much.
Yeah. It's quite nice because your head's kind of cold in the night.
Gemini will kind of look over and be like, all right, yeah, well. Then he'll go over to Varen and kind of whisper, last night when you were asleep, you were talking.
What do you mean talking?
I mean using your mouth to conjugate sentences. But more importantly, you were talking about Ellie saying not again. No, did she? What?
Insight check.
Roll your
Varen
insight.
doesn't know this.
No, yeah, that's fair.
That's a natural one. He believes you
Natural
entirely.
1.
Natural 1 or 20, you would believe me.
Yeah.
So-
I was talking. I don't remember. No. Something about Ellie.
Yes.
I would tell you if I could remember, but I'm not totally sure. I might need to think upon this.
Fair enough. Well, one other thing, just so you know, while you were asleep, Grimhook stripped you naked and wouldn't stop touching your armor. It was the strangest thing.
What? Wait, I still have my clothes on.
Oh, maybe not entirely naked. I was
Are you lying?
particularly awake.
Would you lie to me, Gemini?
Absolutely. Good morning. Walks away.
Yeah. You do notice, by the way, that your armor looks different from yesterday.
I'll inspect it closer.
It seems to be less worn out.
I don't like this. I don't like this one, but it appears the gelatinous cube has washed my armor.
That intelligence a 2 or what's happening here?
Totally to the 1, actually, but sure.
Gemini will wake up
Varen looks
everybody.
confused.
You wake everybody up?
Yes, come on. Time to go kill a hag, everybody. Let's go.
Grimhook will get up and see Varen up, and he'll be somewhat annoyed that he wasn't the first one up. It's like, I've lost time.
Ellie's pretending she didn't hear him. Because she
We all
doesn't
take a long
feel...
rest, right?
Okay. Grimhook, just so I don't, because I'm going to forget, but your natural instinct would be every morning when you wake up to check if the ring is still there.
Okay.
That'll be like the first thing you do, like, yeah, it's still there.
He does that.
Yeah.
And then looks annoyed that he's not the first one up. And then also, the long rest, I have to pray, don't I, to reattune
Yeah.
spell slots. So once he's packed up his bedroll, he'll kneel down and, I don't know, do 5 Hail Marys. Or Hell Kelmvors.
Okay.
Varen will probably have done that as well, so.
There we go.
Change it.
How do you get Ellie out of her sleeping bag? Because she just seems to be like a little lump of sleeping bag there.
Just carry it.
Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to try to pick her up?
No, send you.
Okay.
I'm praying, okay? I'm getting my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Don't interrupt me when I'm talking to God.
God. Gemini will just shake the sleeping bag. Ellie, wake up. Come on. It's time to go.
No.
Yes?
Yeah, she'll come crawling out. And like the first thing she does is to pull up the hood and look a bit grumpy. Fine.
Excellent. Once these two are done chanting their nonsense, we'll be on our way.
She'll pack up her
Varen-
bedroll,
yeah.
pull out a bit of rations, and like find a cookie or something, and start nibbling on it.
Yeah, and Gemini will get his grub together too.
Yeah,
He'll make
Varen will
one
be
for
straight
Varen.
for that grub, so he is.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'll make one for Varen too while he's doing his thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys gather your stuff and get ready to head back out again, you start to make your way back. You step into this darker forest again and you kind of navigate. Do you take any precautions? Do you do anything particular as you're moving through the forest?
Let's find out.
No rope or anything.
No, we'll not do that this time.
Okay.
Well, it is
although-
daytime, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
How long did it take us to get to the rope web last time? Or like, how far away is it time-wise?
About 5 hours or so, 5-6 hours.
Okay, he won't do anything just yet then.
So you guys start walking, and you start to get closer to this part of the forest where you actually turn tail. So roll a survival just to see how well you guys navigate through the forest.
Survival, all of us?
Yeah.
Oh, I do pretty well. A survival, it's plus what?
It's a 22 for Grimhook.
18.
And it's filthy.
Dirty.
We're gonna get a
Likewise,
t-shirt
filthy
about
19.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a
and a
t-shirt.
very, very filthy 18.
Phew.
Is Baron frozen or is he?
I think he's dead.
Frozen. His
Yeah,
light
he's
is not.
okay.
No.
No,
He's
no, he's
leaving.
alive.
He's alive. It's alive.
I'm here. I'm still preparing spells.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
So
wish I
you
could
guys
do that.
do a great job navigating through the forest. The first landmark you notice is this open this clearing. Then you start to notice not shortly after that. You notice some bodies of wolves lying there, and you move onwards, and finally you start to get at these ropes, and you see as you arrive there, there's a couple of ropes restrung.
How many's a couple?
You'd say about 6.
2.
Is there enough room to get around them reasonably?
Reasonably. It's not like, oh, I'll just step through them. You'll definitely have to make an acrobatics check to get through it without touching any of the ropes.
Right. Grimhook will turn to Ellie and be like, you scoped this out last time. Can you see whether they're connected to anything?
Ellie will shoot a big glare at Grimhook, but then take a look. And start.
Okay.
And as soon as she starts looking at the ropes and starts tracking them, you can just see how she completely focuses and get really into it. And you can see her like pointing out her finger and like tracing them and being like, okay, this is actually kind of fun.
All right. Roll your investigation.
Can I roll perception to make sure nothing's staring at us, nothing's going on?
Okay. What do you roll? What did you roll?
Oh, I haven't rolled yet. That's what I was asking
please
if
roll.
I
Yeah.
could roll.
Yeah.
That's a 12?
A 12. Nah, nothing's watching you.
Investigation, you said?
Yeah.
14.
14. Yeah, you're pretty sure that all these ropes connect to something not good.
Can I just step over to the next like quadrant, so to speak? Or like
Yeah,
next section and just do the same thing there and like trace it out there to see if it's the same kind of deal here, or like could you potentially like cut a few ropes and without triggering?
You're pretty sure that it's the same deal with just a lot more dummy ropes. So you could probably cut a couple of things, but it'd still be kind of tricky to get through it without disturbing the ropes.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back and start walking closer and see if there's any dummy ropes there that you potentially could get rid of.
What do you mean? Which one?
The first one, which I already
The one you opened up
Yeah.
yesterday?
Yeah.
No, those all seem to be connected to something.
Are they tied together at a point that we see? Whether down low or
No,
up
there are points where they cross each other, definitely, but they're not. There's not like one point where they cross each other or tied together. No.
There's no knots or anything that we can see that can be loosened.
There are knots, small knots tying ropes together, but mostly just wrapped around trees and knots there.
Should I try to untie them?
Just
Might
let me look, and Ellie's like totally tracing them, and she wants to be really sure. So she's probably gonna actually walk up to the first rope, and if she can, without trying too hard. She want to walk in under the first rope and suddenly be, on the inside looking at things from a different angle.
Roll your investigation again with advantage.
That's a bad roll. That's a bad... Ooh! 19.
19. Now, these all seem to be ropes that you do not want to disturb, preferably not even touch them.
Guys, I think... And as she says it, she's gonna, try to make herself way a little bit further if she can without, without much hindrance. Even if it means crawling on the ground.
Roll your athletics.
Oh,
Or
crap.
acrobatics.
Acrobatic.
Confirm, have a
But
wee
would
look
you
around.
think that she would have to, make a check to get through?
Yeah, definitely. The first rope is relatively easy to get past, but from this point on, it's hard.
Guys, yeah?
No, if Varen could he spot what was left of the remnants of the gelatinous cube on the way over?
There wasn't much left. It was just like a water balloon just kind of squashed and was absorbed pretty much by the ground.
That's okay. It's
You do see quite a clear the grass and things that was there is pretty much looks bad and probably is dying.
Guys, I don't think we can make it through too easily. I think we can, but all this rope seems to lead somewhere, and I think it's gonna trigger another trap.
Kobolds.
They're watching
that.
football.
And I don't know if there's something in the trap, but I think touching any of them definitely would trigger them.
I think it's the same situation as it was last time. Firework last time.
Grimhook will say, well, before we do any of that, and he'll do a quick prayer, and he will cast aid on everyone, apart from himself. So all of you get a temporary for 8 hours, +5 to your health.
+5 health.
Plus
Okay.
And it's actually your hit point maximum is increased, and your current hit points is increased. So even if you get injured, within that 8 hours, you can still be brought back up to that higher thing. So you have essentially an extra 5 hit points for the 8 hours.
So I add 5 to the max HP modifier.
Okay, so it's okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
And I even give that to Gemini.
Yay!
I do it to myself. I give it to Gemini, Vern, and Ellie.
Gemini and
Only 'cause you give me the ring.
Grimhook sitting in a tree.
Only 'cause you
Yeah,
give me the ring. Regardless of his motives for giving me the ring, he gave me the ring.
Very true.
True.
There we go. Okay, Gemini will take some time to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Mm-hmm.
See if
All right.
anything pings, maybe any of the...
Definitely. Bing! There's a ring on somebody's finger that's pinging for you.
That's it?
Other than that, nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Well then.
It's like fucking Gondor calls for aid over here.
So, my plan was to take this flask of oil and burn the ropes while we stay quite far back like we did last time.
Cast Mage Hand. Go up like that. Like, give me the flask.
Grimhook will nod and sort of turn to Ellie and be like, you can cast fire, can't you?
Yeah. Ellie's still looking at the ropes, she really wants to solve this puzzle. There must be some way through this. She's just gonna try to map out how would you have to move to actually make it through, because of course it's possible. But yeah, I can do fire. Maybe if you over that under
Grimhook
that.
will back up to where Gemini is.
Would there be a way to climb up the tree and just go over? Where all the ropes are? Like,
You probably could, but the ropes are quite thickly tied around the tree. So
all the trees?
Yeah. So,
hide
not
them, I
all
guess?
the trees, of course, but the trees that are kind of surrounding it.
Well then,
You see the one that has the 6 ropes there? How high does it go?
Goes about 7 feet.
7 feet.
Baron. A while back, I gave you a shovel.
Yes, I still have it.
Shawshank Redemption.
A what?
No, nothing. That's just a thing that I say sometimes. I mean, we could dig under the ropes,
We
make a
could.
trench so that we could belly crawl all the way.
Yes, we could. What sort of time of day do we have?
It's about 6 hours later.
So like
From morning.
11.
Maybe that will take
11
too
noon.
much time, though.
Yes, it could
Because
take
it
quite a
goes
bit of
on
time.
for quite a while, and you're kind of big guys. And he kind of means all of them.
Yeah, and you could definitely to actually fully tunnel underground. That would be an undertaking.
Yeah,
And
like just digging a trench that goes down about 1.5 feet under the ropes, so we can
Yeah.
like marine crawl. Is what I'm thinking.
But it's with the shovel, it's going to be harder to dig when the ropes are above you.
Oh, okay.
True.
Ting.
Yeah. Ah, fuck.
Fuck it, light them up. Yeah,
We-
do you-
yeah.
Do you give Mage Hand the flask?
Well, he doesn't give you the flask. He pours the oil on top of the rope so that it sort of partially dices every one.
Ellie's gonna come out before he does it.
Yeah,
and then
that's what I
then
was gonna.
he triggers that you can light it on fire if you need a match. I've got one. So
No,
Gemini
let's-
stays way the fuck back.
Let's
like
just back
30
up.
feet. Crouch down again.
No, let's go further than 30. I can reach it from there. I can reach it like way further.
Okay. Then I'll go back 60 feet just in case I need to cast something.
All right.
Ellie will
Okay,
basically go.
I'll be as far back
60,
as them as well.
or
You,
as far as you
oh.
can without it still see the rope properly. You know.
You'll probably go back about 60 or so feet, and then Ellie, you just concentrate for a moment and make some gestures, and you throw your firebolt towards it, and it strikes the rope, and it just they start to burn. And as you hear a snap, you hear clanging. You hear clink, 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 and you hear all kind of metal things falling down.
Well, there's the indication.
So, an alarm system, then?
Well, it seems they haven't got the Q pack, so. Well,
Do I see
hope.
something else happening?
Roll your perception.
Yeah, Grimhook's going to get in on
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah, can I get on that as well, actually?
Well, I'll
Someone
check
else
that.
with perception.
Yeah.
14.
Is 13.
13 for me.
16.
What did you roll, Vera?
13 as well.
30. No, you guys don't see anything out of the ordinary. You do see, you all notice that kind of ropes of smaller ropes, thinner ropes with metal things kind of fell down from the tree branches, and they're kind of clanging as they kind of swing around.
Do you ever remember the great hero, Leroy of Jenkins?
Yes, I do recall.
Didn't he
story of
die?
Leroy Jenkins.
Great tales, yes.
No way. Leroy! No. Grimhook will head towards the opening.
All right.
No, Varen will grab his shoulder and go, should we wait or should we go in now?
I think go in now.
Should we
If,
wait or should we
Something
go?
will show up eventually.
possibly, but it could also give the hag more time to prepare.
Yes, it's true. Yes.
I agree with Grimhook. He should go in now.
Sorry, who are you? You're definitely not Gemini.
No, I didn't say we. I said he.
Oh, okay. We shall go. Quickly.
All right. You guys move through the ropes, and you'll group together?
Ellie,
Nobody stays behind?
no, Ellie will also stop moving, but she will like try to keep to the back, because if something shows up, she wanna have as much range as possible between her and it.
All right.
And she's gonna
Yeah.
just be really cautious walking in under the metal noisy things.
Okay.
How far behind them are you, Ellie?
Behind Grimhook, probably 20 feet. And
Alright,
depending how close everyone else is,
I'm gonna stealth about 20 feet behind Ellie. Follow.
All right. Roll your stealth.
I'll just be like 5 feet behind Grimhook. Dear.
Did you forget to turn your doves off?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's there.
I was gonna say that Ellie probably
Mhm.
like try to walk kind of silently, cautiously as well, because more of the keeping like real close eye rather than trying to stealth. But it probably would be kind of stealthily moving then as well, because she wants
All
to
right.
say something first. But
Roll your stealth.
better than his.
Wow, big surprise. Yeah.
11.
11. Okay. So you guys move forward, and you move for about 20 minutes or so, as the trees here are all really misshapen, and they look kind of Nightmare Before Christmas like really rooted and dark. And as you kind of get closer, you start to get this, all of you, but especially Varen and Grimhook, you get this uncomfortable feeling. It's almost like the air feels a bit sick to breathe. And you get to the edge of where the ground starts to slope down quite 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 steeply. And as you kind of look down, your eyes kind of go wide, and there's this, I wouldn't say it's a valley, because that gives you an idea of something very big, but it almost seems like there's a small crater, a small pit going down. And I say small, but it's a relative size. It's quite big. In the middle, you see a giant skull, a skull of a dragon, and its mouth is open, and you can see in the distance. This is all 400 or 500 feet away from you. The valley is quite absent of trees and grass or anything. You see the mouth is open, and there's a source of light coming from it. And you can see this skull is completely devoid of flesh. It's just whitish bone. And there is, as its mouth is kind of open like this, you can see smoke coming out of the holes where the nostrils used to be. They just kind of go up into two streaks of smoke. And you see in front of this mouth a hulking creature standing there holding an axe, which is massive. And he just looks around, and he looks and he sees you, Grimhook. And that's where we'll call it quits for today.
just before we stop, can Grimhook like take out his axe? Because I'd assume he's sort of like at a higher elevation than him if he stands.
Yeah,
on top
you're
of it.
definitely higher. Yeah.
He'll take out his axe and just be like, "Come on!"
Okay. I guess we're all ready then.
All right, we'll pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't have a week to wait. So.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, I was about to leave the call. I forgot we were streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am cream crackered.
Did you end the stream?
Ellie, you're muted.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, that's what I get for trying to eat something while streaming. No, but yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you will have seen this by the time you tune in tomorrow. If you tune in tomorrow, and you won't be like, wait, how did he get there? Because surprise, extra stream.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll run a repeat tomorrow about
Do
an
so.
hour or so, or a couple of hours before.
yeah, like 3 hours before, maybe.
2 hours 18 minutes.
3 hours is good, because then they have time to get a break in between. Anyway, rambling on. So see you all tomorrow, which will be the last time before we go on a bit of a break. And do some special things in between. And thank you all for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.